Nigeria should not be the Minister of Petroleum. Sanusi made this known while delivering his remarks at the Bank Directors Summit in Abuja. The former emir, who was CBN governor from June 2009 to February 2014, also noted that his insistence for the audit of the NNPC was what cost him his job at the Apex Bank. Well, let's take a listen before we come back for a discussion.
We cannot afford to continue producing the oil and not seeing the revenue. We are no longer paying subsidies. So where are the dollars? Before it was under recovery. Now we don't have under recovery. Where is the money? It was the issue I raised for which I was suspended. You can suspend me again. Okay? But it is an issue that this country must address. NNPC is the most opaque oil company in the world. When I was in the central bank for 15 years, they had not been audited. We paid 11 trillion naira in fuel subsidy. There's no accountability up to now. The National Assembly called NNPC to bring the documents. They refused. And by the way, let me advise that this idea of the president being petroleum minister is not a good idea. The last president was Minister of Petroleum for 8 years. When I was governor of Central Bank, we had a petroleum minister. So when I talked about NNPC, I could attack Dizani. Now nobody can talk about petroleum because 8 years, if you talk, you're attacking the president. We need that buffer. Somebody has to be there. So a minister has to be there who is held accountable by Nigerians.
Bienvenue sur Dima. Sur Dima, vous pourrez apprendre.
Lamido is advocating for the president not to be the Minister of Petroleum. We've heard even other CSOs advocate for this as well. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. And also the fact that he talked about where is the dollars? Why are the dollars right now? But it's great that the Dangote refinery is set, to start full production, and hopefully that would be a huge saver in Forex.
Somebody should point out one lie in what Emir Sanusi said. If you can point out one lie, I'll clap for you. There is no lie. All he said is what we've been saying all this while. They say they've removed subsidy. Where is the dollar? Maybe they were supposed to have savings from the subsidy that we put in the currency. We are still going to borrow. Where is even the 10 billion they said they want to go and borrow to buffer? Somebody was telling me this morning that dollar to naira on the black market is 1,200 now. Where is the money to buffer? Sanusi talked about money then. They pushed it, they said it was the problem. Talked about 120 billion. They said from there, they said it's not true. Where is the money? Why can't the NNPC be audited? Didn't we call for a forensic audit of the NNPC before President Tinubu even removed subsidy? So it's opaque. That's why I say anybody that can point out one lie in what he has said should come out. We'll clap for them. There is no lie in what he's been saying. And the idea of the president being the, what is it called? And a lot of people have argued based on convention, blah, 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 and everything. No. We should have that level of opacity. Because if you keep saying the president should be, why can't the president also be solid mineral? Is it because oil is bringing more money? It's just one department that brings more money. If we're thinking economy, what should be bringing more money to the country is the productivity of Nigerians. Companies are living. Look at P&G now, Procter & Gamble.
Right.
Remember back in days when Dunlop left? Remember when Michelin left? All these companies were leaving. So why can't we focus on the productivity of the company? Because when you look at even oil, how much is it added to the GDP? Not much. All it does, it has a lot to the governmental revenue. Right. So there is nothing Sanusi has said that is wrong here.
Well, now that NNPC
can I have a perspective to
Yes,
this? Because I was in the arena, the 2014 that he referred to when he left as CBN governor. And of course, yes, part of the issue then was that he had raised alarm that money was missing. Okay, and one thing led to another. I don't need to rehash that. Now, he made a number of points. He was speaking at the Bankers Directors Association of Nigeria conference yesterday in Abuja. And he made a number of points. One, about the banking sector, the need for bankers to shore up trust among the people. Two, he talked about the need for the AMCON levy to be retained. The AMCON levy means that the banks will pay about 0.5% of their assets at year end and put it into AMCON. And he said, contrary to what many bankers have been pushing for, particularly the chairman of BDAN, that's Mustafa Chike-Obi, that AMCON levy should stay. Three, he said that the CBN Act is good as it is, and it should not be amended, because to try and amend that CBN Act will give politicians an opportunity to put politics into it. All of that. Having been CBN banker and having been a career banker himself, he knows it. Now, he talked about the opaqueness of NNPC. Yes, he's right in that regard, because the audit that he's asking for, do you know that for 43 years in this country, nobody audited NNPC accounts? Until 2020, when the present MD of NNPC, as he then was, now CEO of NNPCL, released the 2019 and 2020 audited reports. That was the first time NNPC would release any audited accounts. Despite the existence of NATI under Waziri Adio and NATI under Ogbunayaoji, who is there now, have also, raised a number of questions. But where we are now, different from where we were in 2014, is that at least now under Mele Kyari, NNPC audits its accounts and publishes. And we can only insist on that because that's part of what Emir Sanusi was asking for when he was CBN governor. Finally, he's saying that the president should not also be Minister of Petroleum. Okay, if we check from 2019, the Minister of Petroleum had always been the president, from Obasanjo to Yaradua. Then under President Jonathan appointed a Minister of Petroleum. Okay.
Diezani Alison.
Diezani Alison Madueke. Well, go and check the experience of most people during Diezani Alison Madueke's tenure as Minister of Petroleum. She was so powerful. Indeed, at council meetings, I'm giving you eyewitness account.
Sure
before the president will enter council meeting, many ministers will go and greet her specially.
She was also very beautiful.
Well, no, they will go and greet her specially, with the exception of Mohamed Adoke, with the exception of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and the Minister of Aviation, then Stella Odua. But all the other ones, they will be queuing up to greet her because of the power in that office. It's not about beauty. It's
I
about
know. Of course, that was still
It's about the power in that office. So most presidents,
she's still beautiful, by the way.
Most presidents, we want to hold the portfolio.
All right.
So that they will hold the authority, because that is Nigeria's pot of soup.
But does that make it right?
Many
That's
of them
the
will be
question.
reluctant to go and give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then there will be arguments about ethnicity. Why did you make this person from this part of the country Minister of Petroleum? The minister exercises delegated authority. Right. If he wants to keep the portfolio himself for purposes of national peace, it's just pragmatism.
All right.
It's just wisdom.
The oil will
All right.
go one day soon, Dr. Abatiu. The eye will clear.
Shall we take another story, guys? We'll take another story.
The eye will clear.
Well, all right. On Wednesday, saying that they have been paid. The protesters had accused Wike of being inconsiderate of the plight of the FCT residents, adding that his actions have been controversial. Well, in the meantime, a video has emerged showing the minister singing and dancing to Tinubu's Song of Allegiance. On your mandate, we shall stand. Let's take a look.
Yes, sir. In the Chief of Staff's office. Well done. Very nice. I'm glad to see this.
I love it. Our new Michael Jackson. That was in the Chief of Staff's office, he said. But you know, isn't it on your mandate, Bola, on your mandate? So now he's made a new one. It's
He's a trendsetter.
I love it. Jagaban. Wike is legendary. Go ahead.
Wike, the trendsetter. I think that's probably his favorite song. And let's not be surprised, because when he was governor, he had a personal band that went around
he
singing.
did.
And he composed a number of famous songs. So
This
maybe
is
perhaps
Wike's song now.
we need his band to give backup to On Your Mandate. I don't know what the chorus will be.
It's on your mandate,
Jagaban.
on
Okay, so
your
the Jagaban.
mandate,
All right.
Jagaban.
And he,
I hope Bolanle Austin Peters is watching.
Yeah.
Because when Governor Minister Wike leaves office,
He might
he may
want to
need
go
another
to
career.
that.
And Bolanle Austin Peters can find good
God.
use
I hope he's
for his talent by putting him in a cast to perform on stage. He will be quite an attraction on
he
stage.
will be.
Excellent
Yeah,
for
but
it.
yesterday we talked about. Don't sell
Mandate.
it. You have to sell that now. Don't give it for free.
The mandate. Starring.
He is some Wike.
All right.
It will be a sellout. Bolanle Austin Peters, please. You have a likely recruit here in the
He
future.
might not have to wait till after
Yes.
office. I don't know what the policy is with having a side hustle as minister. He
Yes.
just might go into it immediately.
Right.
Ministers. What do you expect?
All right, so yesterday we took the story
Yes,
about the
we did.
protesters in Abuja, just protesting the high-handedness of Minister Nyesom Wike, and almost as if in response and to demonstrate the fact that he's not paying attention to what he's described as people who were paid to protest against him, and saying that it's a distraction from him focusing on doing the work that he was said. I'm going to take his quote. He said that as leaders, you must be firm, you must be bold, you must be courageous to take decisions. While I agree with him, what we also said yesterday was the fact that as a leader, you must also have heart. You must also consider the people. You can't be too high-handed, even when you're trying to sanitize things. And that's where the criticism of the people. You cannot lead the people that do not want to be led by you.
Yeah.
You will be resisted at every turn, and no matter how great your policies are, you can cushion it in such a way that you're still achieving results whilst being, attentive to the people. Margaret Thatcher of the UK in the early 70s was termed Thatcher's milk snatcher, because in order to save £4 million, she had stopped giving free milk to over 7s in schools. And many years later, 20 years, she still talked about the fact that she regretted the actions because it demonized her amongst obviously other policies that she had made in the UK. What am I trying to say here? Yes, it was we're trying to save money. The UK was in need of revenue. However, the impact of that years later still spoke. It's the same thing.
Yes.
If you're going to lead and make policies, you must also recognize that you're not leading inanimate objects or animals. These are human beings with emotions, with feelings.
Absolutely.
So you have to think about that. You cannot keep saying, I don't care what they're saying, I'll continue doing. You are a leader for a reason, and a leader must lead with heart, even though he's being firm and and very courageous.
Absolutely, I love that. Well, let's hope that this new song will help soften the heart of the FCT residents, because music has a way of doing damage control. Well, all right. Well, let's take another story then. 2 officers surprised to see the woman traveling alone on the motorbike, unaware that they were being filmed. They stopped her and asked her what she brought from her country. Let's take a look.
It's fine.
From where?
Netherlands.
Eh?
Netherlands.
Now you they come? What do you bring come? See that? Eh? Oh, where they go?
Abuja.
Abuja? See. What you Abuja didn't love.
How are you?
Give me something else.
Everything.
Everything is fine.
Family.
Huh?
How's family?
Good.
Family is good.
This water.
Give me money.
Wait till you bring come.
Huh?
Wait till you bring come. I say wait till you bring come.
What you want give me? Hey, wait till now, what you want give me? Oh, yeah, give me something. Oh, yeah, give me something now. Give me something.
You give me something.
Give me money. Money.
Money. Why?
Give me.
Rufai, this has got to be a skit. I will not believe that that's real.
No, it's not a skit. It's real.
It's not a skit.
In fact,
okay.
I follow her a lot. You
Okay.
can follow her because she's got a very inspiring story. She used to work in,
I
I think,
mean-
management. Then she stopped her work in Netherlands and she got a bag. They started driving around the world. Her name is Norali.
Yes.
You know, her page is Ichi Boots. Before she came to Nigeria, she was concerned about the security situation. She was constantly saying, in fact, she explores a lot more of other countries, but she's not going to be doing that for Nigeria.
Yes.
Because of the fact that she is scared about the security situation. And she's on the way to Abuja so that she can perfect her visa into Cameroon. And she was going through and she met these police officers. I mean, quite very funny, but it's also a sad indictment on our police force.
Absolutely.
And I think these two Babasue police officers that provided us a lot of laughter should also be called to order.
Yes.
We can't afford to make our country feel this way. That's her first time riding through Nigeria. She's rode through Ivory Coast, other parts of the country. In fact, she came in from Cotonou. She didn't see this kind of treatment.
No.
Then she saw it in Nigeria. She tagged it, corrupt police officers ask me for money.
Yeah.
But in all
saw
fairness,
that.
other checkpoints, they were thrilled about her movement. They were really excited. And they said, oh, let go. I was proud of those other police officers. But when we go to these two police officers, Babasue and Lukuluku Badashi,
No, I mean, look at this.
what even made me laugh was the way they were trying to speak Pidgin English with Oyibo and said, give me money.
And this one was sure that everything was fine.
This
But
one has a
you know,
career in comedy.
He
oh.
does. But you know, I thought it was important to highlight this story.
Jamaica.
Just
Sad,
look at them.
Wait
Look-
till you bring come.
I wait till you bring up.
Wait
Look
till
at
you won't give me now.
Give me money.
Give me money.
I mean, look at this.
But the good news is that
Yeah.
Olumiwa Adejobi, the police PRO, says that the Oyo Police Command has been directed,
Right.
maybe by the Inspector General of Police, to identify these people properly.
Yes, absolutely.
Since they've been recorded, their faces are clearly shown, and to ensure that they are disciplined.
Yes.
Because these are the people who give Nigeria a bad name,
Yeah.
and even give the Nigerian police worse name.
Absolutely. Dr. Bati, next time I will tell you, waiting I bring come.
Give me money now.
Well, all right. We'll take our final
Money,
story.
money.
Shall we? Can we take our final story? Let's take our final story by highlighting
opposition political parties in Nigeria, and it's our maiden meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to galvanize the support of political parties towards judicial and electoral reforms in this country, towards good governance, towards reforming our electoral process. And today we have adopted a name, and the name of this group will be Conference of Opposition Political Parties in Nigeria, COPIN. And by the grace of God, it was a very fruitful meeting. The Labour Party delegation was led by Chief, and we also have the delegation of ABGA, led here by, yes, and we have the apology of few political parties, but we've all agreed that as opposition political parties in this country, we are going to work together to end the pain and end the shame, democratic shame in this country. We want to make sure that we visibly meet to discuss issues of electoral reform, issues of judicial reform, issues of INEC, issues of rigging, and how we can partner together as opposition political parties in this country to work together to end the democratic shame and the democratic pain in this country, especially from the last elections we've seen in Kogi and Imo. We believe that we cannot continue like this as a country. There's a need for amelioration, there's a need for palliation, there's a need for correction. And we have resolved that I, as the convener of this meeting, will drive the political parties, opposition political parties in this country, to do the needful and to keep the party in power in check, to make sure that our democratic ideals, our democratic doctrines, our democratic tenets in this country is respected, and that there will be fairness, there will be equity, there will be egalitarianism in our democracy in this country. And we believe that we have adjourned to meet in a date that will be announced, and we are going to take this very seriously. And the battle to rescue this country democratically for all opposition political parties is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. And we are all committed to this cause. And what we are calling for here is not a measure. What we are calling for is all opposition political parties working together to build our democracy, to strengthen our democracy, to ameliorate our democratic problems, to make sure that by the grace of God, we push for, judicial and electoral reforms that will strengthen our democratic process and stop rigging and stop allocation of votes by the ruling political party, and to be proper opposition parties, proper political opposition political parties in this country. So it is not, it's a matter of collaboration, it's a matter of unity, it's a matter of doing things together for the betterment of the masses and the populace of this country. So it is not a matter of a measure, it is not a measure of political parties, it is rather a conference of opposition political parties in Nigeria. And the main purpose is to make sure that together we push for a unified electoral and judicial system, to have a better electoral process and to curb the likes of Mahmoud Yakubu from rigging elections in subsequent
Dieser geniale kleine Heizkörper verwandelt Ihr Zimmer in Minuten von eiskalt zu sommerwarm.
To Abuja here.
I have no confidence in the judicial system, so I don't even, whether relocated or not relocated, the judiciary remains the judiciary.
This is about putting interests together to make sure that our democratic processes work for the general populace, who are the electorate, who are suffering bad leadership, bad governance, occasioned by bad electoral processes, as led by Yakubu Mahmoud. For us, for things to work, this partnership is for electoral, judicial, and constitutional reform that will help in improving our electoral atmosphere, that will make sure that one man, one vote will be the issue. that will make sure that anybody who goes to cast his vote will be sure that his vote will be counted. That will make sure that Nigerians will have confidence in the electoral process again. Because as it stands today, let me tell you, we have one of the worst democratic process going on right now. Because the way the Electoral Commission is managing the process. And I tell you, it's very also important, as part of the electoral reform that we're pursuing, that the commission will be unbundled. Because as today, the commission is overburdened, and because of that nature of weight, commission is acting as state, as someone who is protection of the state, who work and conduct election as if the interest is to protect parties in government. The opposition parties have suffered more over the years, because when you go to election, you have to work along with the fact that the electoral system is working against you from day one. And Labour Party suffered more in the last election. So for all this to work, the parties must be united. They must come together to have a focus on how the electoral system must be fair, electoral system must be credible, and the electoral system must represent the true wishes and aspirations of our people.
All right, thank you. Please.
I have a little question. Whatever you are doing in this coalition ends up at the National Assembly. This conference ends up at the National Assembly. And the National Assembly is headed by somebody to do the right thing and to restore the right political.
The National Assembly is the people's house, and they will know that when the Nigerian people speak and have a reform that will protect the general interests of our people, that they will not work against it. Because one, the National Assembly does not only consist of the ruling party, it consists of all other parties, like the PDP and the Labour Party, and the NNPP, then ABGA. So we are going there to present something that will save Nigeria from this shame, from this international embarrassment, something that will give light and give life to our electoral processes, something that will enrich our democratic practice, something that will give growth and development to our people. Because why? Because elections are not fair, because elections are not credible, is the reason why those who get into government misbehave, because they are not elected by the people. When our elections start to have these ingredients, credentials that is fair, that is credible, and that is only by the vote of the people that you can be elected, you will find out those who get into office will be responsible and be responsive to the yearnings of our people.
Kura, the National Vice Chairman, North Central ABGA.
Okay, let's hear from the ABGA angle of this.
Yeah, the conference today showed us that we need to come together and make the democracy work again. So we can't allow it continue to happen in the way they want it. This is a democracy, and we must work together. And this, at the time we are coming now, we must compel them to do what is right for the masses.
Thank you very much. Your name again, please.
Abdulaziz Arikura is my name.
My name is Ajia Zoera Issa Ajia, National Deputy Woman Leader from ABGA.
Now, the elections are over and the political parties are trying to come together to find a way of adjusting the electoral process to give us credible elections in the country. Do you think, what do you think should be done to get the system working?
Okay, for my own assumption, the way they call us together, they want us to unite ourselves so that the way we can move the political level. Because believe me honestly, we are left behind. The way and those people are doing with the other parties, they are not doing actually what's supposed to be done. They are just doing their own. So after they call us, they want us to be united and live together so that we can work on together. I believe when we are united to ourselves, we can achieve what we want, inshallah.
and also to respond to other issues. And my deepest apologies. It's not our nature. This company is your creation. It's the creation of the National Assembly. The NNPC Limited today is owned 100% by the over 200 million Nigerians. The shares in this company, by the provisions of the PIA, is held by the Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated and the Ministry of Finance Incorporated on behalf of all the millions of Nigerians in the country. So we understand that this is a company owned by Nigerians, and this company, every company is answerable to its shareholders. And we also understand clearly that the National Assembly presents a great platform or representation of all of us in the country. And therefore, any invitation by the National Assembly, we see it as privilege and a matter of responsibility. As a matter of fact, we see ourselves sitting before the representatives of the shareholders of this company. We understand this very, very clearly. And we meant no disrespect of any sort for not appearing on Wednesday, and we apologize sincerely. Secondly, we understand the significance of our business to the overall well-being of our country. As we go into a prosperous 2024, there's simply no way we can discount what happens in the oil and gas industry. Because not just about direct revenues coming from the NNPC into the Federation account, that even some non-oil revenues that you will see flagged are dependent on the successful operations of the oil and gas industry. And they have very clear relationship. Many businesses depend on our ability to be productive, our ability to supply gas into the market, so the factories and industries that rely on us for their power or even for their feedstock are able to operate. So we know that this industry is very important. Every estimate that you have before you have some level of linkage with our business, including agriculture. So we know this is important. Therefore, oil production indicates efficiency and productivity in our industry, oil and gas production. And also, the market is what it is. We do not have any control over the market. It is dependent on the global demand and supply, which to a large extent, which forms the basis of all estimates that you see, including the one that before you, around pricing is seen what will be the supply, what will be the demand. And as all estimates, there are always scientific basis for those estimates. And there are expert organizations who live all their lives doing this, and we subscribe to many of these institutions and organizations that help in forecast, and we also have internal competencies to make judgments out of it. And we do not think that you will, at any point in the next 2 years, for you to see oil prices going below $70, so it's not practical. Because the supply and demand dynamics indicates that there may be continuous undersupply in the market for the next 2 years. And there are significant activities going on all over the world, also complicated by the energy transition conversations that are stifle investments in the industry to see incremental production coming in place may be unlikely, and therefore everyone assumes that supply will be challenged. Once supply is challenged and demand rises, economies are growing, our country is growing fast perhaps, and for all the records, global records, we are seen as one of the fastest growing economies in the world today. And that means that there will be sustained demand, not just in our country, but in other countries. And as long as demand doesn't meet supply, you will continue to see prices remaining where they are. And therefore, when you see the $82 oil today, as you may have seen some of the oscillations in the market in the last 2 to 3 months, you see collapse of $2 to $3, but still goes back. And therefore, the estimates that is provided to the National Assembly by Mr. President, because it's averages, so you do not look at daily prices in oil, you look at averages. And we think very strongly that these prices are realistic within 2024. And secondly, coming to production, Mr. President, may I also call your attention to the fact that when we say production for the purpose of budget estimates. Yes, after, yes, I apologize. And I apologize. Slip of the mouth, not tongue.
There, for a long time. There, for a long time. Are we on course?
Go on.
The test has been there for a long time, and the problem is that government fail to prosecute those that involved in oil theft. And don't forget that the oil thieves, are the big players. Those that have the money you are seeing, that's the oil thieves. Oil thieves is not a new thing. When Buhari and the Diabon government came, then declared they wanted. Some of them were arrested and jailed. And some of them are the big men now, today, in Nigeria. So, the oil theft has been there, but there's no political will to fight it. That is the truth. I've been a pioneer anti-pipeline in 1999. In 7 months, we brought bunkering under control. We let Chief Harold Dapabliye, introduced me to Chief Audley with my team, with Young Oriako, President of Africa Youth Council, and President of Nigeria Federation South-South, under my leadership. We are made to fight bunkering. In 7 months, we brought results. But our problem at that time even was Navy, because we are working with Navy.
Your problem was the Nigerian Navy?
Nigerian Navy, yes.
Why? How?
Because we have, before we engage into that, we met them and we're working together. We will go to operation together. But we are shocked that the bunkers that we catch said all the information they're having it from one intelligent officer Jumu, who have fed them for what we are doing. And it was God that helped us, would have been dead by now. So the issue is...
So what you're trying to say is that there is internal conspiracy, collaboration.
Yes, there's internal collaboration. Let me tell you, if the Navy is effective, there's no need to create JTF, Joint Task Force, because navies are assigned, are constitutionally mandated to protect our territorial waters.
Waters, yes.
And if Navy say a vessel they quote a vessel 5,000 tons, how did that vessel get 5,000? How did it get into Nigeria? Because before a vessel entered Nigeria, Navy must see him. He must get clearance.
But that was why they caught the vessel.
No, they caught it when he's loading, according to them. That's from their statement.
Okay, Seydou, let's just quickly, listen again to the interview I had with the
Commander.
Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command, Mustafa Hassan.
Yes.
Let's recall it.
These private security companies are like every other citizen of the nation. They give intelligence, and intelligence is useful to the military. It's like they all act like force multipliers, so they help us to succeed in our quest. So they are important, and so far everything has been working well. We're in good sync with a lot of them, but Tantita seems to want to always overstep her bounds. She is a private contractor that has been put in place to give intelligence. But rather than give intelligence, you see them trying to arrest, board, prosecute, test, and all. I had to communicate with the Commander Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe to ask about the limits. And he told me he has warned Tantita, don't get involved in the kinetics, just bring information. But yet, maybe they have their roots in being lawless, and it's difficult for them now to be controlled and given instructions. But
Mustafa, a Rear Admiral
Yes.
and commanding the Western
Yes.
Naval Command. Now, the private security engagement to watch over critical oil infrastructure and the rest, well, maybe in conjunction with the constitutional rule of the Navy. Do you think it's really working out well with this kind of situation?
Let me tell you, the report that we give government about the oil theft, official, in writing, that produce this contract that you are seeing. Because as we cannot, thank God that he mentioned the JTF commander. Let me
Operation Delta
Operation
Safe.
Delta Force. When it was even JTF, before it was,
changed
to Operation Delta Force.
Safe.
And you'll be shocked to know that even when they were investigating it to form it, it was Tarfa, General Tarfa, who was head of intelligence, that set a committee, which I was a member. Let me say, even I had, that investigated the activities with one Colonel Iba, who is the general now, the activities of JTF involving in Bonklead. That's why the name was changed to OPDS. That to tell you that I know what I'm saying. So thank God that he mentioned Operation Delta Safe. There was a commander, one Admiral Aboti Suleiman, who came when the oil production was...
Suleiman, yes.
Suleiman.
He did a fantastic job there.
A very...
But it was unceremoniously removed because...
No, even then, they sponsored the protest to remove him because the bunkers, the big players remove him. That's the fight.
They were not comfortable with his,
You understand?
because he checkmated
but the
them.
issue is that Tantita can only provide intelligence. The contact is beyond that. Is beyond that, because them, if they are dead as he said, they are working. They will be need to appoint a contractor, engage a contractor. So the Tantita job is to catch a vessel and give them for prosecution.
So yes. Tantita is really overstepping its bounds.
No, it's not overstepping its ground.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Because then they are strangers. Some of them have been deployed there. Tantitas are native community people who know the community very well, who know the thieves, who know who is engaged in oil stealing. So their job is, but apart of private intelligence, they can arrest and give them. If you say Tantita cannot arrest, how many did he arrest? We have worked with them. Thank God that I mentioned Suleiman, I mentioned Akili Dede, we have worked with them. We provide intelligence to them because we own the trucks, we own the filling stations, we know the vessels that are carrying the oil and all that. So Tantita's coming. Anything Tantita is seeing, they should expect it because the fact bunk is not easy. So what I'm saying is that the federal government should be decisive. Navy cannot, if Navy is, as he's saying, that they can provide intelligence. Did he stop oil theft? He did not stop it. Now it's going down until Tantita comes up before the thing goes up. It was Tantita that, let me tell you, I'm the president of International Human Rights on Ecology and Marine Africa. Today, the waterways, the Primrose River and Port Harcourt, all the rivers are clean because of Tantita's job. It has improved this job. Let me tell you, I'm not a member at it. I never met Tompolo. This part was the chief of the SA. So what I'm saying is that if they say Tantita can only provide intelligence, then the vessels said they will get free movement and we do this thing. So what I want is for Navy and Tantita to form a synergy, a cooperation to fight this bunkering. Their job is to provide security for Tantita and catch the thieves, because Tantita know the thieves more than them, because they are owners, they are members of the community and they are from that place. So then, when they deploy them today, they can transfer him tomorrow, as they transfer others. So what I'm saying is that I'm not against Navy. I have worked with them since all the time. When I was the first pioneer of anti-pipeline. It was Navy that sabotaged my job. And today, the issue of you must receive clearance before you drop a tanker or you discharge a product on the waterfront, at the waterfront. It was my initiatives with Captain Ona, a very dedicated officer, a very good officer, but he was sabotaged by his own boys. Now, the vessels that are applying are loading irregular bunkers to Kalba, all of that carrying Navy clearance. I reported to Suleiman, he's alive. Then Suleiman sent me to Buddha, who was the commander. He refused to see me. How did all this people that were catching, they carry Navy clearance? So if he said Tantita can only provide information for him, I did not, but Nigerians cannot agree. That oil is a national oil. It belongs to all Nigerians. And as long as I'm concerned, Tantita must have enemies by stopping the illegal bunkers for having access to oil. And they are dissing. So for him to say only to provide intelligence, or the JTF commander told him, or the OPDS commander, no! Tantita contract is beyond that. What Tantita will do is to catch the thieves and their oil and hand over it. Then there was a vessel that they caught and burned it. Then they jeopardized the investigation and denied government with money. Why did they burn that vessel, if it is true? Why did you burn vessel without investigation? The Nigerians are not blind. I have been to oil sector for long.
Well, Musa Saidu, I wish we have more time, you understand.
But there's something that I want to say.
Very quickly, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, the thing I want to add, I'm begging the federal government to look at River State issue, because we had enough. I know I buried a lot of people that were killed in River State during that end of SARS and all that. But the crisis now is brewing there.
Over the oil issue
No,
oil issue. That's what we're talking.
Yes, we are talking about issue, but let's talk this one, because
no. Sorry, if it runs against what we are discussing.
No, we have passed the oil issue. The leader Fariwa.
Okay, please.
You understand?
Okay, please.
So,
we would find another time.
No, I'm adding it to.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Please, Musa Saidu.
No problem. Thank you.
Musa Saidu is the chairman, Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria.
No, anti-pipeline. No, anti-pipeline.
Yes.
Vandalism.
Yeah.
Yes, there is national chairman. We have a president.
All right. So,
and the name is
all right, Musa.
is Ahmed.
Thank you very much. We're really running out of time.
Yes.
Please.
No, you didn't give me a lot of time to talk. But thank you for my own for the little time you have given me. But the only thing I'm saying is that federal government should be decisive.
Please. Thank you very much.
When I come back indeed, I go. When I wake up in morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back indeed, I go. up in morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back in the evening, I go. When I come back in the evening, I go. When I wake up in the morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back in the evening, I go. When I wake up in the morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back in the evening, I go. When I wake up in the morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back in the evening, I go. When I wake up in the morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back in the evening, I go. When I wake up in the morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back in the evening, I go. When I wake up in the morning, I go pray to my God. When I come back in the evening, I go.